Hey guys, welcome back to another video. What we're going to be talking about today is the worst personality trait you can have if you're a beginner programmer, right? If you're just starting out, if you have no idea what coding is, and you're just starting off on this journey where you're learning a brand new skill, there's certain personality traits that you can have that are going to impede your learning and make you learn at a way slower progress as opposed to other traits. You know, what I'm talking about is those programmers that when they start coding, they try to be the best. They try to build the next Facebook, the next Airbnb, and they basically, what happens is they take on so much responsibility and they try to learn so much in such a short amount of time that they basically end up burning out, taking long breaks, and never really reaching their goals. So guys, if you're new to the channel, what we do here is I give you guys basically a high level overview of what being a software engineer is, and I try to give you guys some tips on how to become a software engineer, whether you're just starting out, and you're in high school, or whether you're a bit older and you want to, switch career paths and become a software engineer. This channel has all the information you need. And if you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Let's get into the video. So basically, when you're starting to learn how to code, what you want is you want to learn, it's a long-term play, and you just want a better life, right? You want to maybe get a better job, earn some more money, or be able to build, the side project of your dreams, right? What you have to understand, especially if you're just starting out, is that you're a beginner. This is going to take a long time, and it's better to treat it as a marathon, not a sprint, right? A lot of people think you start off, you have to study 12 hours a day, you have to try to build the next Facebook, and you want to have it done in like 2 months. You think it's going to take 1 or 2 months, and then you're going to be a professional software engineer, you're going to have this amazing project in your resume, and you're going to be interviewing for 6-figure jobs, right? It's not going to happen that fast, and you really have to be more realistic. This kind of attitude might work in the short term. It might work at the start, and you might think, wow, I'm really, getting the hang of it. I'm, building this amazing project. I'm learning so much. But trust me, after a while, after a month, maybe 2 months, you're really going to get burned out. And what's going to happen is that you're going to quit and not really learn how to code as well as you would have if you took a more slower approach. In terms of building like the next Facebook or a massive project, right? What's better is building several small apps, right? Maybe take a week or two to build a small app and then keep doing that. And then over time, you'll have 4, 5, 6 smaller apps that are much simpler, but, are working and are actually examples of what you can code, right? It's way better to have a couple of simple ones rather than one unfinished big project that, is way too much for you to handle. If you start with smaller apps, you're going to be way more comfortable. It's going to be way easier for you, and you're actually going to be able to complete these projects. You don't want, the last thing you want is for you to start a project, is to have these grandiose ideas, start a big project, not finish it, and then it ruins your mood, it ruins your confidence, and you basically think that, you can't code anymore. What's going to happen is you won't reach your goals, you won't be consistent, and it's going to demotivate you. You're going to think you failed, and really all you did was you took on too much in a short period of time, right? Where if you were more realistic, you were more consistent, and you took a slower pace, 4 or 5 months in, you'd be still going strong, and you'd be able to really have a lot of things to show for your knowledge. Also, you're going to have way more enthusiasm. You're going to be way more excited about coding because you're going to have a lot of small projects built. You're going to be like, hey, wow, look, I made this little to-do app. I made this calculator. You're going to have a ton of stuff on your GitHub. You're going to have a ton of projects to talk about in interviews. And then you're going to be ready. You're going to actually be ready to tackle a bigger project, a more complex project, because you have these small ones under your belt. You're going to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can build, a small kind of Twitter clone or whatever, like just a random idea that's more complex and will show off your skills more, right? So instead of starting off with that, you'll kind of build towards it, and then over time you'll have way more knowledge and actually be able to maybe build like a Facebook clone or something. So you have to try not to be this like overachieving perfectionist kind of attitude. You really have to have a more realistic attitude. And how do you do that? So the first piece of advice I have for you guys is to not compare yourself to others, right? You need to understand that, when you're learning how to code, or any skill for that matter, you're going to have to go at your own pace. There's no like recommended amount of time, right? There's no right amount of time that it's going to take you. Everyone goes at their own pace. If you're comparing yourself to others and other people are learning faster, going at a faster pace, you're just going to demotivate yourself. You're just going to get down, and you're going to be less enthusiastic, right? The only person that you should compare yourself to is yourself. As long as you're getting better every day, if there's being progress made every single day, that's all that matters. Nothing else matters. The second piece of advice is that you really have to be realistic and accept the reality of your situation, right? You might have zero experience. You might not even know what code is. You might have a full-time job or 2 kids you have to take care of. This could be a very long journey, and there could be a bit of stress, but you have to understand that it's not going to be a get-rich-quick kind of thing. It's not going to be like a short amount of time. You have to take the reality of your situation, take what you want to achieve, and then develop a long-term plan so that you actually achieve your goals, right? Just because you have a family, a full-time job, like you have to drive your kids to work, who knows what kind of responsibilities you may have in your life. But the reality is those responsibilities are there and they have to be done. And if you want to be a coder as well, if you want to become a software engineer, you're going to have to be able to fit in time to study, time to work on side projects somewhere. So, you either do that or you're not going to become a software engineer. So it's really your call. But the reality is you got to do it, right? I was more lucky. I was in university and I was learning there. I didn't really have any responsibilities at all. So, I was very, very fortunate to have that kind of reality in my life. But, that's not always the case. And if you're one of those people where, you have a lot of responsibilities outside, just develop a long-term plan. I talk about this in some other videos, but you need to just develop a plan and anything's possible, right? You should still be able to do this. And the last piece of advice I have for you guys is if you're working on something, just ship the code. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? In reality, the code is rarely perfect anyways. So if you're working on something and, it's working, it's not perfect, it's maybe 75% done, just ship it, get into the habit of shipping code, writing code. It's not going to be perfect. And especially because you're just starting out, you're just a beginner, it's okay. It's fine that it's not perfect. If it's working, that's all that matters. And that's awesome. Don't obsess over the little details. If this UI isn't working right, or if it's a bit slow, that doesn't really matter at this point in your career. Just get things out there, push some code, push a product, get something working, maybe make a website. Don't worry about the quality for now, but just get something out there. It's going to feel so good. It's going to be such a good experience because you're going to build something from start to finish all by yourself. That's so cool. And very few people are able to do that, right? So don't worry about the quality right now. Just worry about getting it done, making something cool that you can build on, that you can, learn from. And then eventually you're going to make more complex projects, have something to show on your resume, and then be able to, interview, have things to talk about. That's kind of the goal, guys. That's kind of what you want to be doing. You don't want to just be taking all these stupid tutorials and doing all this crap. You want to have an end goal. You need to have a plan. What are you doing today? You're learning. Okay, where's your side projects? You got to have those done and kind of have a plan. And then I swear, if you do, it won't take that long, and then you'll be able to get a job and really reach all of your goals. There's no reason why you can't. So guys, I hope you take this advice to heart. Comment down below if there's anything you disagree with, or if I got anything wrong, or if there's any other tips you guys have, any other bad traits or good traits that developers should have. Let me know down below. If you like the content, as always, feel free to like and subscribe, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. Enjoy your coding, everyone. Peace.